Hello everyone. Now, this is going to be a deck review and flip through for The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. Before I get to the flip through and before I open the box, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the theme of the deck. And if you want to get to the flip through without wasting any time, the timestamp will be in the description box down below. Now, before I open this, I've had this deck for a while, and this deck was particularly created to find solutions and gain understanding of any situation for the highest good of all. Why is that important? Because you will not find any negative cards or dire warnings meant to scare anyone in this deck. As we know, the tarot can carry with it a few negative cards, but the illustrations and the wordings in this deck are leaning towards the positive, okay? The words and images don't represent loss, grief, or resentment, or anger, or worry. Instead, it's meant to lovingly guide and help you experience the lighter aspect of any message. And for example, the Death card is called Transformation, the Devil card is called Temptation, Judgment is called Call, etc. Now, there are no lengthy paragraphs in the guidebook. There are only minimal keywords and phrases to help one understand the cards, and I think that is very wise because normally guidebooks have massive paragraphs, and if you're a beginner and you're trying to learn the meanings of the cards, one tends to get a little lost. But the messages here are quite crisp and concise, which I like. Now, another great thing about this deck is the interpretations are written as affirmations in the first person, I language, and not you language. And I feel like this makes the meaning more personal, especially if you're reading for yourself. And another thing to keep in mind is that the messages are all written in the present tense and in the now instead of the future. So this makes the affirmations more potent, and you can integrate that energy more personally and more immediately, okay? So this was a quick overview. I'm going to open the box now. Like I've said, I've had this for a while, so the book isn't at its best shape, but the box is nice and thick. There's a little bit of pink foiling on the box, if that matters. And there we have the guidebook. In the beginning of the book, well, she's written about what the inspiration behind the cards was and why she's leaning more towards the good aspect of tarot and not the negative. And there are no spreads here, but that's all right. The entire book is in black and white, and as you can see, very crisp and concise interpretations, okay? Now, the illustrations have a very dream-like watercolor-y kind of feel to them, which I think is lovely. This isn't really my go-to deck, okay? I have a lot of decks that I use, but this isn't one that I will readily pick up to do a reading for myself or for someone else. Not because of, well, the quality of the deck. The quality is fantastic. But as you can see, the size, it is massive. It is an overtly large deck. And another reason is that the lamination, though it makes the quality even better, it makes the cards last longer, but the lamination makes the cards stick to each other, you know, so shuffling isn't as easy. Now, I've had this for a while, I've used it a few times, so the cards aren't really sticking, but when the deck is new, you will find, you know, that they do stick. Another problem is, now I store my decks really carefully within their boxes, but you see how it has a natural bend, a natural curve to it. I don't know how that's happened, and I hate it when that happens. So I'm not discouraging anyone from buying it. It is a beautiful deck, but these are a few things to keep in mind, okay? Now I will stop talking and I'm gonna lead you to the flip through. right, so that was it. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is the suits don't have traditional names. So instead of pentacles, it's called earth. Instead of cups, it's called water. Instead of wands, it's called fire. And instead of swords, it's called air. All right, it's going to take a minute if you're not used to it. It's going to take you a minute to understand this and understand the jargon, but not particularly difficult. Now, I thought I'll do a quick shuffle and show you. Now, I wouldn't recommend a bridge shuffle because the cards are very thick and they can very easily lose their shape. You know what I mean? But a side shuffle is possible, but you see how there is this sort of resistance. They're not falling perfectly, and it's hard to kind of get them leveled. See what I mean? But let's just do a quick reading now that we're at it. Flippers are not as difficult as I thought they would be. All right, we got 4 cards. Let's see. We have the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like with the 7 of Swords, some of you may be trying to, well, not buy this deck because you feel like there may be better options out there. You may be right, but with the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like there is a lot that you can learn from this, and there is a lot that you can integrate into your own life. With the 5 of Wands, I feel like there are other decks that could compete with this, most definitely. But with the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like it'll help you truly understand yourself. And that is the primary focus of this deck to start with. I feel like it's not really meant for readings for other people, but more for guidance for self. And it'll help you nurture yourself like you haven't before. All right, that was it. I hope this helped you guys. Bye-bye.